Hi, and welcome to the New Investors My Story. Joining me today is the serial entrepreneur, Nick Bell.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Nick, thanks a million for joining us. The first one of the year, first one of the decade.
Lucky me.
I know, it's great. And actually, it's a great timing because yesterday in Yahoo Finance, we saw a little survey that said that 1 in 3 Australians are considering leaving their job this year to start up a business. That's a huge amount of people.
That's huge.
I know, it's massive.
We've got 25 million people in Australia, so 1 in 3.
Are considering.
So
then
that's
probably
7.5 million people. Jeez, big numbers.
Yeah, big numbers, but how many of those will do it is the question. But that's why it's a good night to have you on, because we want to hear about your journey and how you started up your businesses. I was looking through your LinkedIn yesterday, and
There's a bit there.
under the education section, you just have one thing said university.
That's empty. There's nothing there.
Well, it wasn't completely empty. You said university dropout, and it was quite clearly stated. So something you're proud of. Tell me about that.
Look, I'm not exactly proud of it, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
So I went to university for 6 weeks. Actually, let me go back a bit.
Go back.
So in high school, tradition was finish year 12 or finish VCE or TER back then.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit old. I'm 39 years old. Finish year 12, get to university, get a corporate job. And that's what you had to do.
Yeah.
So I finished year 12. I was terrible. I got 57 out of 100. That's like just barely passed.
Okay.
I was a terrible student. I had no interest in studying or reading textbooks. It just wasn't for me back then. But my parents wanted me to go to university. So
What's your parents do?
Dad had a corporate job at a farmer, and my mum was a stay-at-home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mother. They live in the country near Bendigo.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But I finished year 12, went to university. Actually, no, I was about to get to university, decided not to get to university, and went to London.
Yep.
Just to get off the farm, have a good time. Went and worked in nightclubs and bars and restaurants in London.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Lovely.
Did that. Went from a farm in Bendigo to London, right in the heart of London.
Yeah.
It was good fun. But then I came back to Australia and I thought, shit, I better get to university. I better get a degree.
Better do something.
So I applied for RMIT, got rejected. I applied for Swinburne, got rejected.
What were you applying? What courses?
Marketing.
Okay.
Bachelor of Business Marketing.
Right.
So then I applied for VUT in Sunbury, which is the worst. Well, not the worst. I shouldn't say that on camera. It's it hasn't got the best reputation.
Okay, good way.
Yeah. So I got into VUT at Sunbury. Was there for 6 weeks. I was working in a microeconomics class.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, this isn't for me. This is so bloody boring. So I just walked out of the class, jumped in my car and drove off after 6 weeks.
And that was it?
That was it. And then worked in hospitality. Literally, I had no idea what I wanted to do in school.
Okay.
I actually wanted to be a professional golfer, but I wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So that didn't work out. So then I just saw marketing and thought, fuck, anyone can do marketing.
Sorry,
all you have to do is talk. All you can do is talk and you can get in. And this is kind of before digital marketing.
Right. Okay.
So I thought it was just sipping lattes and talking.
Yeah. So then you're thinking about what to do.
Yeah.
When did you launch the first business?
First business was at the age of 24.
Okay.
So from 18 to 24, I basically job to job, hospitality, recruitment, sales, kind of drifted around. And then at age 24, I started a skincare business. Don't ask me why. I started a skincare business.
Okay.
So I started a skincare business with a friend of mine.
And what kind of, when you say skincare, just like, what kind of skincare?
Treats acne.
Okay.
So I developed a product, a supplement that helps treat acne with a pharmacist. And I thought, this is going to make me millions in the first year.
Did you have acne yourself? Or
I had really bad acne as a kid.
Oh, did you?
Really bad acne.
So you contacted a pharmaceutical person and I said, let's come up with a formula and we're going to sell it.
Correct. So mate, I've got this idea. I've done a bit of research around it. Let's do something. Okay. So, idiot. So engaged this guy, paid him $100,000, which was my entire life savings. He developed a product for me and then I started selling that product online. And I thought, I'm going to be a millionaire in the first 12 months. I said, everyone's going to love my product. Nah, didn't happen. So
did you say $100,000?
$100,000 to produce the product.
So you had that much money at 24 saved?
I was doing a sales job and I was quite good at sales. So I made a lot of money very quickly.
That's a great amount of money for 24 to have saved.
Yeah, I was hustling hard at 24 to save money because I wanted to start my own business.
Okay, great. Okay.
I was working for someone, they making them millions and millions of dollars. I said, no, I need to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then I started the skincare business.
How did that go?
From 24 to 28, I lived on $150 a week. It was a tough slog. I had manufacturing problems. I had issues with my business partner. The product wasn't quite right. So 4 years straight, I made no money.
Wow.
It wasn't tough because I didn't have any family, any kids, any mortgages. Like I had my rent and
Just
food.
look after yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
So when did you decide, right, this is not working? Like when did you decide you had to give up?
It wasn't give up. So I thought I need a side hustle. So while the skincare business is taking off, I need to make some money on the side. So I thought I'd start a SEO company or a digital marketing business from my bedroom.
Okay.
And basically it was just me on the phone calling people. And I thought if I make $100,000 a year selling SEO, that's going to cover my living expenses while the skincare business is taking off.
Why did you pick SEO?
It was new into the market. I thought I could sell it. And I thought everyone in the market was overcharging for what they deliver. And they were offering no guarantees or KPIs. So I came into the market, undercut every single person in the market and offered guarantees.
Had you studied SEO? Had you been
No,
learning?
I knew nothing about it.
You knew
I literally knew nothing about SEO.
But you looked at the market and said, they're all overcharging and they're not delivering. I'm going to
Correct. So
undercharge and I'm going to over-deliver.
So I engaged a company for my skincare business.
Yep.
And they quoted me $3,500 a month for the SEO. I thought, mate, that's a rip-off. I knew nothing about it. So what I did in the early days is I'd sell it for, say, $10,000 for 12 months.
Yep.
And then I would engage a third-party provider
Yep.
in India, the Philippines, to fulfill the work. So I wasn't doing the work myself. I was doing the account management, the finances, the selling. And then someone else was doing the technical work in the early days.
Okay. So when you made your first sale, you didn't actually know how you were going to fulfill it.
Correct.
And was this
Don't do this in business. This is not good.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So just put this in context. That was the beginning of your
WME.
WME,
my
sorry.
first agency, yeah.
So that was the beginning of that, which you sold, just to put this in context, you sold in 2017 for 39 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So it worked well.
Worked out well.
It worked out well.
Yeah, it worked out in the end. So yes, I didn't know SEO, but I self-learned very, very quickly. So I learned how to do SEO. I practiced. And then after 6 to 12 months, I got rid of the third-party provider and bought everything in-house and hired people locally to do the work.
Okay.
And that business took off. The skincare business died in the ass.
Yep.
And I, sorry, pardon the French. And then I exited that business to my business partner and did the WME full-time.
Did you start that with the intention of selling it to Google or selling
No. It was just to make $100,000 a year.
Yeah. And then,
just to live.
Yeah.
But we made $100,000 in month one. And in the first year, we did $1.8 million.
So what, apart from undercutting the price and over-delivering, what was it that made it so successful? It was quite a crowded market, the SEO business back then.
Very crowded.
What made yours so successful?
A lead comes in, I would answer the lead in 5 minutes on a Sunday, on a Saturday night. I'd be on a date answering leads.
Nice.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So it bothered the person I was on a date with. But I was very proactive. I was very aggressive. I had speed in business.
Yep.
Whereas the other guys were just very, very slow. They move slowly in the game.
Do you think that's critical for
100%. You need speed in business.
Yeah.
You need urgency.
Tell me about the next steps then from growing. You went international then.
So we were profitable within 3 days of launching that business.
Wow.
Which is unheard of. So the business cost me a few $100s to set up, and I got paid $10,000 in 3 days. Within a year, we were at, I think, 50 people or 100 people. And then within 2 years, I went to Singapore, Hong Kong, and then other countries after. So the growth was fairly rapid.
And did you have the business partner or was this you on your own?
Just me.
And did you have mentors at the time? Somebody helping you through this serious expansion?
No, but I wish I did. I was an absolute cowboy. I had no idea what I was doing. I was making dumb decisions. If I had a mentor, someone that I could lean on and ask advice from, the business would have grown so much faster, and I wouldn't have made so many dumb decisions.
Can you tell me a couple of those, like the biggest, like the worst decisions you made? The biggest learning?
In the early days, I hired for bums on seats rather than talent. So I hired someone based on price rather than, are you the best person for the role?
Yes.
And that backfired in year 2 and 3 when the business was imploding within.
Yeah.
We had so much growth in the first few years that I hired all the wrong people, had all the wrong structure. The business just was imploding. I had no processes, no systems. It was an absolute disaster.
So how did you get it into place? To get the structure into place first, and then...
Yeah, look, good question. So I hired an operations manager in year 5 or year 4 of the business.
Yeah.
She came in, implemented processes, implemented systems.
Yeah.
Because we were growing so fast that I was hiring for Band-Aid fixes. If there's a problem, I'd hire someone for it.
Yeah.
Rather than implementing a process or a system.
Right.
That's where I stuffed up. So she came in, transformed the business, implemented better systems, and then I didn't need 400 people. I probably needed 300 people.
But you just needed the right skills.
Right skills and the right systems in place.
Yeah.
And automation.
Yeah.
Rather than just hiring for people. And our margins went from 5% to about 30% margins within about a year.
Yeah.
And our retention went up, client satisfaction went up, and staff retention improved dramatically.
Wow, okay. So hiring for the right skill set, cultural fit, or just the right skill set?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, if that person doesn't like me and I don't like them, it's probably not going to work.
Okay. Yeah.
But
likability is
it's 100%.
Yeah.
Because if they don't like you, they're not going to follow you.
Yeah.
They're not going to bleed for you. They're not going to get into the trenches for you.
Yeah.
And talent and experience.
Yeah.
I needed people with experience. I was hiring people with no experience, and they were coming in managing accounts, and it was an absolute disaster. So I basically restructured the company, hired people with experience, talent, and people that are likable.
You went on then to find a couple of more business ideas. So that was your main one. In the back of your mind, were you setting up the other ones?
So WME, the digital marketing business, was the main business initially.
Yep.
But then we moved into app development. So I started a business with a friend of mine called AppsCore. AppsCore does app development, web development, and so on.
Yep.
And this is back in 2010 when it was booming. That business is still going today. It's got about 300 people in Melbourne. So we launched into app development. We launched into reputation management, which is Removify, another business. We also did hosting, domain names, cybersecurity. So there was a broad range of services.
So when you're coming up with business ideas, it's through your clients, you see what they need, and then you set up a business based on demand from your clients.
Correct.
Is that okay?
The challenge with most agencies these days, they try and offer everything. So they do SEO, AdWords, app development, and so on. We think that it should be a specialized agency. So only focus on SEO, only focus on app development for another agency. So we set up different agencies to specialize in certain services.
Under one umbrella.
Different umbrellas.
Okay.
Just different brand names, all owned by the same group, but just different brand names with a different team.
Okay.
And we all work together as a unit, but specialized teams.
Okay. I want to talk about Removify. I find this very interesting. So this is the business model around this is to help businesses that have negative comments on Google or wherever it is to get them removed.
Correct. But the AFR recently called me the king of revenge porn in Australia.
I saw that. I did see that.
I mentioned it once, briefly, in passing, and then the headline's like, king of revenge porn.
That's what got the clicks.
I was like, come
That's what
on,
got the
you're
clicks.
killing me with this.
Well, because the original business idea was to remove negative comments, but how do you go about doing that?
It's not really negative comments, it's defaming comments that have used profanity, that are racially fueled, that breach the policies and guidelines of the publisher, which is, say, Google, Facebook, and so on.
Yeah.
We can't remove a 1-star review that says, I wasn't happy with the food, I'm not coming back. We can't remove that.
So how do you decipher what's defamatory or what's like fake, if it's a fake? Because I know like 1 in 3, or is it 10% of negative reviews are left by their competitors or are fake?
Between 10 and 30% apparently fake.
Apparently fake. And can you remove those?
Yes.
But how do you decipher it?
So we basically go to Google and say, look, we believe this is fake for these reasons. Mm-hmm. They review the information. Mm-hmm. They look at the IP, look at the author, see whether they've posted before, and then they make a decision. So we actually don't remove it ourselves. We do a submission to Google, then Google analyzes the case or the argument, then makes a decision.
So you've got better ins than the small business then?
We do a lot of work with Google.
Okay.
So, and we have an in-house legal team that does all the arguments and the submissions.
And what sort of success rate do you have for requests?
About 80%.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but we don't take everything on board. So like I said earlier, if it says I wasn't happy with the food, we wouldn't take that on board because we know that we cannot remove that.
Okay. So you have a team that assesses whether you're going to go for it or not.
Correct.
And then you charge, so the business model then is you charge them if
we're successful.
Okay.
Only if we're successful. But the business started 8 months ago and it's absolutely booming. There's a massive demand for this kind of service.
Oh, I'd say so, because it can make or break a business. Like a small
It can kill a
business.
company
Yeah.
and it can kill an individual. So we do revenge porn, where it could be a sugar baby has posted photos of a sugar daddy. There's a website called Seeking Arrangements. Anyone heard of that site? Yeah. It's quite...
I'll write this down.
It was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump on that site. It's quite popular. The sugar baby might get pissed off with the sugar daddy for not paying him or her a salary.
Yes.
So then they post photos online.
Of the sugar daddy.
Or the sugar baby, vice versa. It does happen.
Okay.
And some of the photos we see, it's like, wow, this stuff really happens.
So who's in the reviewing team of these photos?
We're very strict on privacy.
Okay, cool.
So there's certain individuals in the business who work on these cases. Their screens have shadowing, so you can't see their screens.
Okay.
And everyone signs NDAs in the company.
Because there's been the criminalisation of revenge porn as such here in Australia recently, hasn't there? Hasn't there been changes in the law and that's opened up this business opportunity?
There has been changes. It's still a bit of a grey area. Yeah. But like I said, if it does breach the policies of Google, you can remove it.
Okay.
And there's a lot happening out there at the moment, which is not good because quite often we have people call in crying. Like they're literally bawling on the phone, so upset that someone's done this to them.
It's in a WhatsApp group and then whooshka, it's gone.
Yeah. And with the explosion of social media, with Facebook and Instagram, there's just so much out there.
Yeah. So this business now is going well for you. So it's
going great. Yeah, it's going great.
And do you see growth potential, massive growth potential?
100%. So we're going to set up in London next month, and then Vancouver the month after, then the US and so on. It's going really well.
And in terms of revenue, that's from the punters who contact you to remove. That's the only way.
Correct.
Revenue
and we only charge if we're successful. So if we can't remove it, you don't pay us a cent.
Okay. And do you charge based on the severity of the photos?
Yeah, correct. Photos or the review or the content.
Right.
It really depends.
Okay. Interesting.
It is.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I got some stories around that, but I won't get into it.
Any good ones? Any good ones that you can share?
It's too juicy.
Really? I've got loads more questions here, but let me go into the questions first from the audience. They've got the Slido, so they're sending in questions as we're chatting here. This is from Anastasia. Even though you say you want to hire people with experience, you didn't have any yourself. Do you still take a chance on people without uni degrees?
Yeah. We never hire based on education. So it's generally based on experience or attitude.
Yeah.
So we do hire interns for 3 months, and then 90% of the interns will go to a full-time role. Okay.
So experience and attitude.
Yeah. It's the two things we look for.
Yeah.
University degrees we don't look at.
Yeah.
It's mostly attitude.
And when you say attitude, what is it? Drive?
Drive, go-getter, works hard. You can talk to. They can build rapport with the other staff.
Yeah.
That's what we look for.
Okay.
Hungry. You need the hunger.
Okay. What's the number one lesson in business you've learned that everyone should know?
I think too many business owners overthink situations. So they overanalyze a certain situation and never actually make a decision. It's just, this is a decision, run with it. If you stuff up, you stuff up. You can fix it.
Yeah.
But there's too many business owners just go, they're on the fence.
Yeah.
Man, just make a decision, run with it. If it's the wrong decision, fix it quickly. I'm all about urgency and speed in business.
Yeah.
If we're going to expand, man, just go hard at it. If we stuff up, it is what it is. You've learned a lesson.
Yeah. With the speed of, especially the business you're in, it's moving so quickly.
100%.
So you can't have that sort of indecision paralysis.
Correct.
With the failures though, how do you deal, what would be some of your tips in dealing with the failures or mess ups?
Oh, I made a lot of mistakes. I can run through a few. I've invested in friends. So friends have pitched me their business ideas and then I've given them a chunk of money.
Yeah. And
I've lost friends over it. So one friend, he was a very good mate of mine, disappeared.
So what, you gave him the money?
I gave him the money, he started a business, it wasn't going too well. And I said, look, mate, I've got some concerns around the business. He goes, it's okay, don't worry about it. I said, mate, look at the numbers are terrible.
Yeah.
He ended up taking the money from the account, disappearing.
What's his name? We'll give him a shout out.
No, I would love to.
Friend, come on, give him a
So
call.
he went off Facebook, he went off Instagram, off LinkedIn.
Wow.
Couldn't find him.
Wow. Bizarre behavior.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So don't invest in friends.
I should be very. I'm very trusting
Yeah.
of people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been good and bad in my career. I've had a lot of people let me down in business,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also helped me build relationships with my team, which has been fantastic.
Yeah.
So just be very selective with who you trust.
Yeah.
If I love an idea, I'm like, oh man, that's the best idea I've ever heard. Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah. As you just
Like I'm straight in,
Yeah. Okay.
which is,
Can be good or bad.
yeah.
What's your work-life balance like now versus when you were starting WME?
To be honest, when I started, I was working 15 hours a day, but I loved it. I love being on the phone. So I would call New Zealand in the morning.
Yep.
I think was it
3 hours ahead.
3 hours ahead?
Yeah.
Then I'd call Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and then I'll do South Australia. Then I'll do Western Australia at 7 p.m. I loved it. I loved winning deals and helping clients win and growing the team. To me, that was work-life balance.
Right. So it was like almost like a game.
It was a game.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the money. I enjoyed the process of building businesses. Now I've got a wife and 2 kids, so I'm kind of handcuffed a bit.
Yeah.
So I do have work-life balance. So I work 8 till 7 most days, and then weekends off.
And so that's what I was going to ask. So what do you do to take the time off? Do you switch off the weekends now? And
I'm always on.
always on this,
I'm always on my phone, which is, I just jumped off Facebook and jumped off Instagram because I was wasting time on these platforms. I said, nah, I'm off.
so you deleted
Deleted them. Yeah, I was like, oh, don't do it, do it.
Yeah.
And I went
Because
off.
sometimes you just realize like an hour, 2 hours is gone, just like
It just
mindlessly.
kills time.
It does.
But I am active on LinkedIn. So
Okay.
I'm a massive hoe on LinkedIn. Yeah. I'm all over LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, jump on it. It's awesome.
Okay. Right. So no Facebook, Instagram, but just stay on LinkedIn.
I'm off those 2.
Yeah. Okay. You haven't actually mentioned this, but this is a question. Why did you take 39 million over 155 million when selling WME? What was your strategy during this
I get
process?
asked this question quite often. There was 2 offers on the table, the $39 million.
Yeah, just explain because we haven't actually explained this.
So I had 2 offers on the table. It was $39 million. Basically, here's the keys to the company. I walk out the door,
Right.
which is very rare in a service-based business. Normally you have a 3-year earn out or a 5-year earn out. The 154 million or 5 million, that was a 3-year earn out. And I had to hit certain milestones, which I would have hit, but I just couldn't work with a man for 3 years.
But it would have been 3 years of you working
Correct.
with that guy.
But I think I could have made that in 2 years. So
Okay.
I thought in 3 years I could probably make more than that.
Yeah.
So I said, that's why I chose not to do it. And I just, to be honest, I was done with the business. I had WME for 10 years. I was kind of obsolete in that company. And I lost my passion to do it. So another 3 years in that company would have just drained my soul.
Really.
So I was done
It's a
with
lot
it.
of money though, 110 million.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, sorry. But you're obviously confident of making it somewhere else.
Yeah, but like I said, it wasn't about the money. I was done with the company. I love the people, but 10 years is a long time. And I just wanted a new challenge. So the idea was to sell the company, exit the agency game. So no more agencies. And I still had another 7. I was going to sell all the agencies off and be done with it.
The other 7 here in Australia.
Overseas.
Okay.
Now I got sucked back in. Now I've got 13 agencies. So
Oh,
I've been
wow.
growing the agencies over the past couple of years. I don't know why I went back into it. So I was
So you
going
just
to take...
sold here in Australia?
Correct. So I was going to take 1 year off, do nothing, travel. I went to Chile straight after I sold the business. After 2 weeks, I said, I'm bored. I need to
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Not even a month.
I was in Atacama in Chile. It's
Oh, nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Really nice. And I was there and I was loving it, but I was like, I need to get back to work. So I started working on the agencies. I'm like, I can improve this. I can do this. We should be doing this. And then all of a sudden I'm back into the business. And then I thought, okay, we've got 7 businesses or 7 agencies. Let's take this to 50.
2 weeks beforehand, you said, I want to get out of agencies. And then you said, actually, let's go from 7 to 50.
Yeah, I'm quite erratic and spontaneous.
Sounds
Yeah, I know. My wife was like, you dickhead, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just take a year off and relax.
So where are you at now? How many?
We've got 13 agencies now,
Okay.
and I'm trying to do one a month moving forward. So one new agency in one new country every month until I get to 50. I don't know why. It's not about the money. It's just I'm enjoying the challenge and the.
No, that's good. That's good.
I won't sell again. I won't sell.
Why not?
When I sold WME, I felt a bit lost. I had no purpose.
Okay.
And I thought selling that business would be the best move ever. It wasn't the case. I was actually a little bit lost. I'm like, what am I going to do now? I've got no office in Melbourne. Where do I go every day? Do I regret it? No, but I didn't have a purpose for a few months.
Yeah.
And I never want to have that situation again.
But like when you moved in, when you had Removify and AppScore.
Well, I started Removify 8 months ago. I sold WME 3 years ago.
Okay, so was that?
So within that period, I didn't have much to do in Melbourne.
Right.
Because all my other businesses are overseas.
Yeah.
And the agencies I've got here, there's people running those companies where I'm just a silent partner.
So when you say like it didn't have a purpose, so really like a business for you is by actually giving you purpose in life.
Sounds quite sad, isn't it?
No, it doesn't. No, but I'm just asking. Like, is that what it?
Yeah, because it's my passion and my hobby.
Yeah. Okay.
Like my hobby, I'm not into cars or motorbikes or anything. My passion is building
that business. Fair enough.
And when I lost that, I was like, what am I going to do? So when I got back into building businesses, I'm like, yes, I feel like I've got a purpose again.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Speaking of building businesses, when did you become interested in cannabis investing and why?
I'm quite passionate about alternative medicine, biohacking, intermittent fasting. I love all that kind of stuff. So I'm about to buy a health retreat in Queensland.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to completely modernise it. So it's going to be cutting edge science meets hippie.
Love it.
I love that kind of stuff.
So do I.
Yeah, so outside of the agencies, my passion is actually health and wellness and how can we improve as human beings.
Well, it's a massively growing industry as well.
It is.
People want to get away from.
It is, but this one's not about making money. It's about this is what I'm passionate about. Okay. And then on top of the health retreat, I'm going to build an animal sanctuary because I grew up on a farm and I'm missing that kind of connection with animals. So I want to have the health retreat, animal sanctuary. It's about 400 acres.
Nice.
It's going to be near, actually can't tell you where yet. I haven't signed the contract. But that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, lovely. In terms of the cannabis investing, it's in a growing area. Would it be an area that you would say you would advise, say, mum and dad or just kind of retail investors to get into now?
No, don't jump into it.
Don't.
There's a lot of hype around the cannabis industry.
Yep.
The share prices are too high and there's a lot of businesses not making money. You'll lose your money.
So don't.
Don't do it.
What about, so what area would? So say somebody has 20 grand, they want to put it into something.
Blue chip. Go like a Amazon, a Google, Facebook, go the safe bet. The cannabis is very high risk.
Yeah.
Yes, you may make money, but it's also, can you afford to lose at $20,000?
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance you will.
Yeah.
Only invest what you can afford to lose. If you want a safe bet, go blue chip stocks.
Okay, but what about like you're very comfortable with risk and high risk. So what about
too comfortable with it?
But it's worked for you. So like, what would you, if in terms of investing in startups, like finding a good startup to invest in that potentially could go like WME or something
That's legalized gambling. Investing in startups.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Because at the end of the day, there's so many variables. The founder or the founders.
Yeah.
Are they hardworking? Are they hungry? Have they got personal problems? Has their husband or wife left them or about to leave them?
Yeah. The industry that they're in,
100%. There are so many variables in startups that I am very cautious these days. Now I only invest in startups that have revenue. I never invest in pre-revenue startups anymore. It's just, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If it's an idea on paper, I'm like, mate, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
Won't touch it. And I only invest in businesses that I understand the industry.
So generally the internet, digital industry.
Digital stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, if I don't understand the business, then I won't get involved.
What's next? So you did tell us what's next. The animal sanctuary and the health
retreat. And in the agencies internationally.
And the agencies internationally.
And I'm looking for one more venture at the moment. So this Sunday, I'm going to lock myself at my office at home and just going to go, I need an idea. What's the idea?
So what will you do now to come up with that idea? Like, will you go reading through stuff, or will you just sit there and thinking, or what will you do?
I'll jump online. I've got a whiteboard in the office. I'll write down some ideas, and I'll hopefully within 8 hours, I've got a new business.
Where would you read when you jump online? What will you be looking at?
Online publications.
Like
entrepreneur.com,
Yahoo Finance.
online digital magazines,
Yahoo
Finance, 100% Yahoo Finance. But yeah, online publications.
Right.
Like Yahoo Finance.
Yes. That's it. That's the headline. Thanks so much, Nick. It was great talking to you.
you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Cheers. Thanks, guys.